Hi friends, Bill McCabe here, and recently going through our archives we found some video clips that were taken on January 21st, 1990, and these relate to defense techniques using short stick. And these are a bit primitive, of course, and they're not filmed of the highest quality, but they're a series that were done by myself and my good friend Master Don Wasilewski to supplement things that we were doing in class at our various instructional groups. So we decided to lay these out in the form of 4 videos, and by way of introduction to video clip number 1, this will deal with self-defense techniques using a short stick, basic blocks and strikes, and we'll follow with some additional ones in the immediate future. Hope you enjoy all these, and I'll see you down the road.
Okay, with the short stick, we have different sets of techniques that will become important. First of which is the techniques involving using the wrist and selecting a specific target. We have the short stick striking kata, and the striking kata is what's known as an 8-strike kata, and it goes something like this. Head on the top, head left side, head right side, down block, reverse down block, knee outside, knee inside, and attack to the solar plexus. You probably noticed as I was doing these strikes that I'm doing a whipping pattern rather than just striking as if I were using a club. Okay, the reason for that is the strike with the short stick is intended to deliver the energy into the bone or into the internal structure of your opponent, the bone or the internal organs. If you strike with the bat or with a club, you can actually try this on your own arm. If you strike with a closed hand, the power will be delivered to the outside or on the surface. But if you strike with the appropriate whipping strike, you can feel the power penetrating to the interior. Okay, concentrating on that. Once again, repeating the 8-strike kata. You relax, first strike, top of the head. Second is outside, third is inside. Fourth strike is a down block, fifth strike is flipping it over. Next is striking outside knee, next inside knee, last solar plexus. Okay, now you can execute this kata in place, or you can execute it moving forward, your choice. If I were going to do it moving forward, I would go back and give myself enough room to do it. Ready position, executing. In place. Okay, so that you can see how these strikes will work against an opponent, I will go to my striking position and my fellow demonstrator will come out and assist. Target areas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Head top, outside in, inside out, down block, over the top, outside in, inside out, solar plexus. You'll note on the solar plexus strike that I'm pointing forward with my finger into the target area. That locks my stick so that I penetrate straight forward. For example, if I close my hand around the stick and came forward, if he would grab the stick, he'd be able to move my hand, disorient or redirect the strike. Just spin it around if you will. If I lock my finger on the stick, as I'm going in, if he grabs, I can continue my thrust. It's an important concept. Also, when you're striking, notice that you're pointing with your forefinger toward the target area just before you're striking. Okay, that is a concept that relates to directing your energy, directing your focus, or directing your ki. You notice the forefinger pointing. Forefinger pointing at all times. Even when I block, say he throws a punch at my ribs. Notice the forefinger pointing. If he throws another punch with the other hand, forefinger pointing. Going down to the knee, inside, and final strike. Thank you. The second kata, using a short stick, is what's known as the defensive kata. The first kata is the 8 strike kata. It's used to orient you to the 8 strike pattern, which involves the normal, ordinary strikes that you'll be using in a fighting situation. The 8 block pattern will introduce you to the blocking format that will be your basis for developing strong defenses. First block. Person attacking high. Basically, you just roll with the person's power and control. Notice the point of my finger. That locks the stick. If I close my wrist or my hand around the stick, I won't have that resiliency to make it a strong block. With my finger pointed, I do. Secondly, if my finger's pointed and a person attacks, I'm able to move into other techniques. Okay, reacting to a high block. Attack off to the side. Notice the angle of the stick. Okay, again, this is for redirection. If the opponent's hand is locked in my stick, I can redirect his attack. That's why there's always that angle. Third, we have the first is against the high block. Attack from the outside. Attack from the inside. This is a head level attack. Next is the mid-level attack from the outside. From the inside. Then we have the low attack, which we block just like before. Which we block again, just like before. Then we finish it off with an attack. Okay, so opponent attacks. Block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4, block 5, block 6, block 7, counter 8. So both kata, both the drills, have 8 moves incorporated within the sequence. Learn them both and practice them accordingly. Once again, opponent attacks, high. Opponent attacks, block. 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 Block, counter. Comes at my head with his hand. Block. Now you notice I don't resist his power. I ride with his power. As he comes toward me, I break his power. If I resist it, he'll go right through my block. That's the nature of blocks. But what I do is he comes at me, I break his power, then I'm ready to move. Okay, that's a key concept. All of these blocks are not to resist or to stop your opponent's power. They're to put you into a position where you have control of your opponent. He comes at me from above again. I have control, I clear, I counter. Again. I have control, I clear, counter. Again, I have control, clear, counter. All off of the first move. But if my only move was the block, I'd be in a world of jam because I have nothing that would follow, and the strength of his arm and his body weight would work against the block which I have, which is only the weight of a stick and me trying to hold it in place. So remember, all blocks are parts of flowing movements, parts of an ABC of fighting that you have to master. Always move, counter, execute. Second block is coming at me from the side with a hook. You see the move, just as before. I created a V or a hook between my hand and the stick that allows me to control my opponent. I move, down, in. Same move. I'm outside of his power. In, hit. Same move. Block, down, in. Quick and simple. Switching sides. He hooks to the outside of my body with his opposite hand. There's the block. See the form? See the block? Okay, again he comes at me hard. See the format of the block. It's always control. It's all there. Moving him as I want to move him. He comes again. Block. Around. Clear. Execute. All the other moves are there. Now combining these blocks with the strikes that you saw in the striking kata. He comes at me with the strike. Block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, you can tie these things together however you want. He comes at me with a kick. Down block. Comes at me with a punch over the top. Okay? Have you seen that sequence before? In the first sequence and in the second sequence of moves. Down block, followed by over the top. He attacks. 1, 2. In. You see how these things begin to flow together. Okay, say he attacks with one hand. Comes at me with the same hand, different direction. Over the top perhaps. Same moves. Same concept. Clear, clear. Okay, so to summarize the blocking moves, you have riding the power for the head and controlling, clearing right and left high, clearing right and left low, basically the same block. We only demonstrated at mid-level today. Down block, roll over the top block.